We are happy that you are here. That means you want to further develop in your life. Thank you for joining us when we talk about mindset, motivation, discipline, how to defeat struggle, and how to take responsibility for your own happiness. I am your host Joakim, and together with me is the co-host and my sister Annika. Let's make a 101% effort in making our lives the best we can. Welcome back, everyone. We are so happy that you are here with us. Today's episode is about motivation. Ever feel stuck waiting for motivation to kick in? The truth is, motivation is magic. It's science. It's not about waiting for the right moment, it's about creating it. In this episode, we'll diving deep into what truly drives us, how to stay motivated even when you don't feel like it, and the science back at strategies to keep pushing forward. If you're ready to break through procrastination and unlock an unstoppable drive, let's get started.
Okay, my brother, how has your week been?
Yeah, it's been interesting this week. Uh, on Wednesday, me and my mom went to the city we stay in and meet two missionaries from America.
Hmm.
Two Christian missionaries from America. Uh, young guys around 20 years old, both of them, from Utah in America. Last week, me and a friend was in the city drinking coffee together, and when we went out from the cafeteria, we did meet those two missionaries and start to talk with them, and I agreed to meet them. Yeah, so this Wednesday, me and my mom went and meet them, and great conversation with they. Very nice, kind, and good people who sit, drink coffee, and talk together. And yeah, we learn a lot about from the Bible from them, and also talk about the ordinary daily things. So it was very good atmosphere. So very nice to meet them. And next month me and my mom will meet them again, and we will go on a trip to the mountains together and talk more. So I'm very excited for that.
Hmm, that sounds very interesting, and it's very rare to have these kind of human connections that just come by coincidence but are so rewarding. They leave a good footprint in your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good
Hmm.
to meet new people and hear their story. And they were so kind and good-hearted and very good to listen. And so it was very nice to get to know those two guys.
That is so good. It's so great with these connections that you both learn something and also just feel heard and seen, and that you grow from it.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So what have you done this week, Annika?
The week is flying by. The time is flying by. Time goes really fast these days. It's just a lot of things I'm doing to arrange a lot of things. But unfortunately, I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling with the motivation for training. So, as I mentioned before, when I get to training, I feel very happy. I really enjoy the training. But the way to get there is a bit far these days. So, I have done what I said in the last episode to just try and kick myself out of the door and try, and it has helped. I have been more on training than before, but not as much as I desire. So today, this is the perfect timing to have an episode about motivation. I think we'll just dive right into it, and hopefully, I'll learn some tricks that will get me back to the mats.
Great. Pain and pleasure is two big motivators. As we have talked about a lot before, pain and pleasure is the things that drive your life. It decide what you're gonna do. Either you do something in life to gain pleasure, or you do something to avoid pain. And this you can use to big motivators. So, and fear is also a powerful motivator. It is very efficient to imaginate catastrophic effects of a failure. Then you link a lot of pain to this uh, failure, and you use that, and you work as hard as you can and use it to motivation, so you not get the pain. So it's pain and pleasure. If you use it the right thing, it gives you absolutely superpower. And I recommend you to do that, so you can boost your motivation. And motivation is very fundamental for your daily life. Even when you wake up in the morning, you're tired like this, you need a little bit motivation to get out of bed. And you can have short-term and also long-term goals, so you hold yourself motivated. And dopamine is responsible for your motivation and also for your movement. And we do not have motivation, we generate motivation. We create a momentum when we do things. So this is very interesting, because we cannot sit here and wait for motivation to come. You have to start do something, create momentum, and then you will get motivation. Because when you do something, we're gonna talk more about this one in this episode, but when you start to do something, you get a little bit of dopamine boost. You start to feel good because you have done something, and then it's easier to do something more. So just start and create the momentum, not wait for the motivation come to you, because the motivation not come by yourself. You have to do something to fuel it.
And this is the key right there. And I think that's why New Year's resolutions works very well for a short period of time, because it actually gets people going. 1st of January, you have these goals, you have these ambitions, you are motivated, you go to the gym, you do the things that you're supposed to do for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But then usually many people fall off. But why did it work in the first place? Because you did it. You got out of the door. You showed up at the gym. You went to that mountain. You did this and that. And then you keep on going for a while. But then you also have to work on maintaining that motivation. Because why stop? And there are 2 things that sparks motivation. Number 1 is ambition. Most people have too low ambitions, and you have to set your ambitions higher. The ambitions have to inspire you. They have to motivate you. Maybe you have experienced previous in your life to be laughed at, or that you have failed your attempts. You haven't performed as well as you were going to, but you cannot let that hold you back. You have to spark your ambitions, and you have to go hard at it. You have to work and fuel your ambitions and stay disciplined, because you will achieve what you desire if you just stay on track. So don't fall short of it. Create ambitions and dream again, my friend. You can have ambitions within health, finance, or a tribute to the world. There are no limits to this. Dream about it every single day. You have to have your ambitions in front of you. They have to be so clear, so vivid, that even just the thought of them gets you motivated. If you don't know what your ambitions are, then what are you really working for? The second thing that sparks motivation is expectancy. That is the belief that I can do this. You expect that your dreams will happen. You believe that you have the strength and confidence to make it happen. And the challenge is that people have the dream, but the ambitions goes away. Sometimes people have ambition and the dream, but they don't really believe in themselves deep down.
A lot of great things to so you can just adjust, to improve your motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best way for you to get motivated, to learn about motivation and improve your life on all the important area, that is to listen to an amazing, great, and powerful podcast called the 101% Podcast or Motivational Podcast. So we talk about mindset, motivation, discipline, how to become a beast, how to defeat struggle, and how to get most out of life, and a lot of talk about mindset and motivation. So if you keep listening on this podcast, you will learn so much about motivation that get fuel you up, and I can say with 101% certainty that listen to this podcast will make your life better. And me and Annika work so hard we can every day to make as great and valuable content for you that we can. And we have a goal to always improve and make better and better episode every time. We would like to try to get out this message to as many people as possible, so we can help as many people as possible to get a better life. So if it have been possible for you to give a small donation to us, it have been great, so we can keep investing in the show and make it greater and reach out to as many people as possible. So a small donation have been great. We have many different ways, but Apple Pay, Google Pay, Whips, PayPal, like this, and it's so quickly and easy. It takes less than 30 seconds to donate. I just did try now yesterday, do it in normal speed, and I only used 12 seconds. Use Apple Pay, so that's been great. So it's two types of motivation. Intrinsic motivation, that is driven by internal reward, like personal growth, passion, or curiosity. For example, learning a new skills because you love it. And then you have extrinsic motivation, and that is driven by external rewards like money, recognition, or social approval. For example, you work hard to get a promotion. Intrinsic motivation leads to more long-term success and fulfillment. Your internal drive, however, extrinsic motivation can still be useful in form of new habits and staying disciplined.
This is very valuable knowledge, and something that was mind-blowing to me is how dopamine actually plays a role in this. Because dopamine is often called the motivation molecule, and it plays a key role in goal-directed behavior. It isn't just a reward chemical, because that's what I thought, but I've now learned that it is released in anticipation of reward as well, and that's what's keeping us engaged. So to boost your dopamine naturally, you should set small, achievable goals, because each of these wins will give you a dopamine boost. And it's very beneficial to celebrate progress to keep the momentum going. Engage in activities that challenge you and excite you. And this was mind-blowing to me, because it is like hacking your system, not only waiting for the big reward and then getting the dopamine rush, but you create your own rewards throughout the way to keep getting this dopamine release in your brain. And then your whole system will function a lot better throughout this entire process. You will stay a lot more motivated.
It's great, yeah. Just by doing things, you create more motivation for yourself.
Mm-hmm. It is so good. And me and my brother are very efficient. We always talk about being efficient in life. And to be super efficient, you need to learn to hack your system. You need to learn to use your body, not always take supplements or wait for the external factors to help you, but use the internal. Use this dopamine that is created for you to feel the rewards. Use it as often as you can to hack your system, to program your machinery to build your own success.
Yeah, it's so exciting, this. You hack and more about motivation. motivate yourself, and then you improve your life. You can learn about sleep, about nutrition, mindset, personal development, and it's so exciting, and you start to grow as a person and improve on all the area. So it's a very interesting journey, and maybe sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelmed, but just do little bit by little bit. Yeah, you're not gonna learn everything in one day. Just start to improve a little bit every day, and more and more, and after some weeks and months, you will see a lot of changes on yourself. You're gonna feel proud of yourself. So just keep doing it and enjoy the process. Enjoy learning, because in the life, yeah, we always strive for the result. That's right, but the journey is very fulfilled also, and exciting to be on this journey.
Definitely. My mom often used to tell me that the journey or the process is also the goal. And after I started realizing that and just paying attention to the process and just um, making notice of what's happening, analyzing, oh, that's how I feel. Because of that, that's how it affects my emotions, and just be aware of yourself. Then you start learning a lot more on how you can improve. So this is fascinating, very fascinating.
Absolutely. And I hear a lot of successful people talk about their journey, and they say that they have achieved so many good things, but many of them told that it was on the journey they got most fulfilled and most excited through the process of learning and against reach their goals. So absolutely something I think a lot about. Motivation against discipline. Why action beats waiting for inspiration? Relying on motivation alone is unreliable. It fluctuates. Discipline and habits are what keep you going when motivation fades. Instead of waiting for motivation, take small action daily, which create this momentum we talk about. Discipline, as me and Annika talk about so much, and motivation is great. And today you learn a lot of things how to fuel your motivation. But motivation will come and go, but discipline will stay. And we talked so much about this one before, me and Annika. So discipline is the key, because when motivation fail, you take it on discipline and you push yourself day after day and use discipline, and then your motivation will come again.
Definitely. And you reminded me of this in a period of time where I think I needed to hear it, because it was right before I lost my motivation for a while. But I was just training all the time, and I didn't have a fight coming, but I was just training, getting in the hours. And you told me, but this is good because now you're just building capacity. Now you're building this so that if the motivation fall away, you'll just keep on going to your habits. So it's very important to build good habits and make them stick, because sometimes I have a fight, I'm super motivated, sometimes I'm not, but the habits are determined. I have to follow them, and then you will stay consistent.
Absolutely.
But how can you hack your motivation? One tip we have is to use the 5-second rule. That means counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just go. Take action before your brain talks you out of it. It is as easy as this, actually. And I think it is because when you count, your mind is occupied. You don't have time to think about excuses. It's cold, it's dark, I'm tired, because you only think 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. There is no room for excuses. There is no room for distractions. And then you go. And I feel a bit excited after just counting, because you know that a countdown leads to something. And when you're determined, I will train in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Then I just want to go. And another thing that is very important to hack your motivation is to visualize success. You have to do it. I cannot stress enough how important this is. If you have a fight coming or an important presentation or something that drives you? What is your ambitions, as we talked about previously? You have to visualize the success, the reward, because if you cannot see it vividly, then are you really believing in it? And another very important thing is accountability. And that is something that we have talked about a lot in this podcast, because many years ago we started calling each other accountability partners, me and Joakim. Because when I call my brother and tell him, okay, next week I will do this certain thing, I have to. Because sometimes we can start making excuses and trick ourselves and trick the people around us. But when you've said it, mostly to myself, but also when I've said it to Joachim, I have so much respect for him. I will not let him down. I would be ashamed of telling him something and not doing it just because I was too lazy. That doesn't happen, because he motivates me, and I need this relation to stay on track, to motivate myself and to keep myself to higher standards. Then I've told myself, spoken it loudly, and I've told him I owe the both of us to do as I said. So please get yourself an accountability partner. It can be yourself saying something out loud, very strict, but it really helps having a partner. And we created a community group for this matter. It is a Facebook group on our Facebook site, the 101% podcast. So please send us a DM or reach out to us in any way. We have all the contact info on our webpage, the 101percentpodcast.com. So just tell us, we'll invite you to the group, and there you have a community of accountability partners that share for you and you share for others, because this is so rewarding. And another thing that can be very important for your motivation, to hack your motivation and get it going, is to change your environment. And I remember a tip that Joakim said in a previous episode, that if you don't want to do something, you just do a small thing first. Let's say you are a bit lazy or you don't have motivation to get out, then you just go out with the trash. Then you're up from the couch, you're out doing something, and then you can just take on your shoes and go for that hike anyways, because you're already up. So just get going, switch your environment up.
And another hack I use, if I lay in the bed or if I sit working and I gonna do something and I'm a little bit lazy, I just go inside my Spotify, find some good song, start it, and then it boosts me up. I almost that I get a little bit of dopamine boost, and something switched in my brain. I went straight up and I start to do thing, and you say, I do something and then I do more thing, and it's so much easier because then I have this music listening and pump me up. So that's a hack I use. And motivation isn't just about willpower, it's a science. By understanding how the brain responds to reward, dopamine, how habits shape our behavior, and how discipline overrides temporary feeling, you can stay on track towards your biggest goals.
Definitely. And I think another great tip is what we talked about in the improving sleep episode with cold showers, because it actually raises your body temperature after you go out of the cold shower, and it releases a lot of dopamine. So that is also a great way to just switch your environment up, or to work on your mindfulness. And I think, as I mentioned previously, it is so important to write down your ambitions, because this cannot be unclear. This cannot be chaotic. You have to know so vividly what your ambitions are, where you're going, because if not, it's super hard to find motivation if things are unclear. So have it written down on a post-it note, sticked to the front of your car or your door, or you need a reminder every single day if you are struggling for a period of time. You have to have it in front of you, because you have to face it, and then you have to do the work to get there, because you owe it to yourself.
Yeah, that was smart. So you always get a reminder. Okay, I have to remember this. I have to remember.
Definitely. And I often say this, that you owe it to yourself to have a good life. but I really mean it. I truly believe with all my heart that we only have this one life. And if you just go by on autopilot, year by year, go past, the time goes by so fast. We don't have any time to lose. So if you are not honest with yourself, if you're not clear with yourself, if you don't know where you're going, then how are you supposed to figure out how to get there? How to motivate yourself? What changes to make? What route to stay on? So I think that it's nonsense to not ask yourself these questions, to have it so black and white, written down in front of you. Have accountability partners, spar with them, share for each other, help each other get there, because it is this one shot that you have.
Absolutely. And talk about post-it note, yeah? I have one in front of me here. And for you on YouTube, you can see my beautiful handwriting. Handwriting. And I write for myself every 45 minutes when I sit working. I have to up, and then I have to do push-ups, as many as I can. 45 more minutes. I have to do some, what do you call, sit-ups.
Mhm.
And next 45 minutes, I have to do squat. Squat, yeah. Squat while I'm boxing. And this I have to do all 45 minutes. And this beautiful handwriting, is lying in front of me. And then I see it all the time, just as you say, Annika. And if I not see it, I will forget it a lot of time. But it stay in my office all the time. So then I cannot forget it. And when I see it, I start to put on my alarm, yeah. So every 45 minutes, my alarm will ring, and then I have to go out to do it. So that's a great way for hold me accountable.
Legendary. And that explains a bit of your recipe for success, your drive, because you work tremendously much, like so many hours through every day. And you have a drive, you have an unlimited drive that pushes you, that keeps you motivated, but you also have these hacks. A big shout out to you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
But I also have so much to learn from you, because I see that when you struggle with sleep, you create an episode about how to improve your sleep, and you follow every single step, every action step, and improve it. And then you create these things, the dopamine rush. Every 45 minutes, you go up and you create your own dopamine rush, because if not, the hours will drain your energy. Sitting in front of a computer all day isn't very rewarding, even though you're working with this podcast, which is super rewarding. But just sitting still, not using your body, will take energy away from you. So we have to create these kind of energy drugs. So a big shout out to you. I have so much to learn from you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I have to try to keep up with you, so I have to work hard on all the areas. So to your listeners, good luck so much to implement those action steps you learned from us today. Implement them so you can stay motivated toward achieving your goals. This episode was recorded on February 28, 2025. In the show note, you will find the link to our homepage, the 101%podcast.com, where you can subscribe to our free weekly newsletter, donate to our podcast, and all the information about subscription you needed. Take care and give it your best. We share for you. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend. It is important for us to get out our message so we can help as many people as possible. And we will highly appreciate it if you could take 1 minute of your time to follow us on social media and review the show on Apple Podcast and Spotify. All links are below. Our Instagram is the 101% podcast. Until next time, take care and go 101% into achieving your goals. You owe it to yourself.